Hello, we are here at Midtown Comics with Tradmore. I'm Henry, that's Rich, and we've got, as you can see if your eyes are working, a plethora of Silver Surfer Black. Number one, outrageous, I think outrageous is a fair word to use when describing this, I don't know, crazy book.
Trip Fest.
It is a wild ride. And what can you tell us about Silver Surfer Black? It's more exciting if you tell.
About the
the book.
Okay. Well, Silver Surfer Black starts with comes out of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Surfer being pulled into a black hole along with most of the cosmic Marvel universe.
Yes.
And first, Surfer has to save everybody, but then he's lost in this
Black hole
time, and that's when the fun begins.
A weekly occurrence in the Marvel universe.
Yes.
Everybody's going in a black hole this week, guys.
Yeah, so that's where we start off, and yeah, I feel like you should just Google the book and look at the drawings, and that's that's what you should do. If that gets you into it, you should pick it up.
When this came out in the solicits, when this came out in the solicits and everything, I was looking at the art and everything, and it is just like, I gotta look at this. This is one of the weirdest, funkiest looking books I've seen all year.
Yeah.
And then you look it through it, it's like it's fun because your art style really complements what Donnie's also writing. So, this is my first question. What's it like working with Donnie on this? Like, did you look at this and already were envisioning this in your head, or was this kind of like, I would like to do this with this?
Yeah. Well, when it comes to the strangeness of the style, it's something that it's hard for me to see myself, because to me it looks normal. Because that's just, I'm staring at my drawings 10 hours a day.
That's your hand that produces it.
Sure, exactly. Like when I look at it, I'm like, that's what the world looks like, right?
Right.
So yeah, this is Silver Surfer is a character that I've been kind of like knocking on Marvel's door for a while now, just through conversation. It's he's a character that is close to my heart. It was one of the first trade paperbacks I ever bought was the John Buscema Stan Lee original Surfer stuff. Back when I don't even think I knew that they were called trade paperbacks.
Right,
like,
just like Silver Surfer.
Big comic. So yeah, it's just been kind of part of my DNA for a long time, drawing Surfer, and I've always wanted to kind of like do it in some official capacity, and schedules being what they are. Hard to line stuff up sometimes, but then the interesting thing, I finished up with some creator-owned stuff. I finished up working on The New World, which was my past image book.
A delight. I'm going to come back to that.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. And so I finished that up and was telling Marvel that it's Silver Surfer. And then Donnie and I, we actually we went to school together at Savannah College of Art and Design. So we've known each other since I don't know how old we were. We were college age, whatever age that is. And we've been trying to find a time to collaborate ever since then. And again, the schedules being what they are and life taking you where it does, it was just like, next project. And this was kind of the stars aligned for this one because Donnie was taking over the
Guardians.
The Guardians.
Right.
So it was a perfect thing. So yeah, he and I.
So did he just call you up out of the blue, like, it's finally happening?
No.
We're doing Surfer.
Basically, more or less, it was it was one of those things where it's like I knew the editor involved as well, and kind of like word had gotten around at amongst friends and creators and Marvel that they were like, I think Trad wants to draw Silver Surfer.
Trad's interested.
So yeah, it finally worked out, and then me and Donnie, it felt like this book feels like an independent book to me. Like the way we crafted it doesn't feel any different than all the stuff that I've done with Image. It was just me and Donnie. We met up at New York Comic Con last year, and just were like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
And just it was like and then Surfer does this, and then he goes here. You know what I mean? And so yeah, we basically just had a number of phone calls together where we just kind of threw every weird idea we had
Right.
at the wall
Yeah.
and
Just
constructed it
everything-
into a story. Yeah.
everything you wanted to do as Surfer was on the table. Now, was Marvel like very like, you guys go out, do what you want to do, or was it like stick to this parameters?
It's kind of nice the way that this story is. You know, we knew we wanted to tell a story, or you know, I wanted specifically to tell a Surfer story, not a whole
Right.
universe thing. You know, I like the crossover stuff, but I wanted it specifically to be about him. You know, kind of my idea coming into this was like, I want to do basically like Samurai Jack, but with
Okay.
Oh,
Now that's
so,
a
so
good pitch.
each issue can be its own. You know, it has an overarching narrative. You have a main villain. You have you know, Surfer has a specific goal in mind.
Sure.
You know, but what happens in each issue can be unique and interesting. And we can take them to different planets and different places.
Right.
So yeah, knowing that, it was just a matter of, you know, the only thing that we had to do, you know, was connected to the universe overall. So within the first 10 pages, you know, you go through the black hole sequence, and then from there it's kind of fair game.
Oh, yeah.
To go where we will.
What I really liked was that it felt like I mean, you have a very contemporary style, but it felt really classic. Like, one of the things, I'll just show because I love this page. The opening page immediately sets the tone because it goes, I mean, you literally started with Galactus.
Oh, yeah.
Page 1.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to if you're drawing Silver Surfer, like you
Sure.
gotta fit him in there.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I like that it automatically does that though, because it kind of establishes just the scale and that what we're playing with Silver Surfer. 'Cause Silver Surfer, I feel like he bounces in and out of the limelight. Like, I know that a lot of characters, like, I mean, and a lot of other people have a fondness for the Silver Surfer, you know?
Yeah.
But he's not always around. He's like a major player that, because he's such a big deal, you have to only see every now and
Sure.
then.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really cool way of kind of bringing people up to speed. And it gets crazy, man. I mean, it's neat. You haven't really done cosmic stuff.
No,
Which is interesting because you did, I mean, with Marvel, you did like Venom 150. So you got to do your crazy Venom, symbiote, nonsense mayhem. And you got to do Ghost Rider, which was like a street level thing. And then you get to do this, which is like literal skin, flesh, whatever you want to call Silver Surfer, boiling and bubbling.
It is the Silver Age to like the 11th power.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, how do we make it even crazier than it was then?
Who did you look at with this? Like,
I mean, yeah, y'all are nailing it. My kind of like, you know, visual Bibles for this book have been the Buscema stuff and you know, Jack Kirby, of course.
Timeless.
You can't.
yeah, I mean,
So much of
Yeah.
you know, you can't draw Galactus and not be drawing Kirby. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be pulling from him because the you know, the shape and design of all of the universe is built on his creativity. You know, so yeah, that was been looking at. Those have been my kind of.
do you have like
things,
the
you know?
king size or like the artist editions where like they really blow it up?
It was
or
actually
something like
no. There was a cool thing. I've been looking at an artist edition of Simonson's Thor.
Okay.
You know, and that's something that immediately it was like a lot of these. You know, I didn't have a lot of experience with that stuff. You know, I didn't grow up reading that, so it kind of had like an immediate. A lot of the stuff had an immediate effect on me and an immediate effect on my work because.
I can see the
growing up-
Simonson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just pulling from like lots of different stuff when I was younger, and I actually hadn't, you know, also had a big Kirby book of Commandy.
Oh,
You know,
cool.
so
Commander's great.
those were two things that really, you know, it's funny that when I was younger I was pulling from more modern things, but then for this one it just felt right to be pulling from
Well, the Surfer,
source,
man, it's
yeah.
just like, you go, the original was just so perfect.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
It's just such it's
Exactly.
timeless.
Yeah.
You know, it's just such a timeless thing, so it's like, to be able to build on that look and make it your own and stuff like that with this character is great. You know, opening up with Galactus is great, but the end of the book has a fun thing.
Yes.
And very, very, shocked a lot of people, very, very fun thing.
Has it been long enough that we can?
Yeah,
we
well,
can
there's a
spoil it?
second printing that literally
There's
shows
a second
it.
printing.
All right, good
Where
deal.
you get null.
All right.
God of the symbiotes at the end, and you're like, because you're reading through his book, you're like, this is fantastic, and you get, oh, right, Donnie. There's going to be a Venom thing in there somewhere.
Yeah.
When you found out about him being included in this, in the initial discussion stuff, were you like on board, like, I'm there, that's a fun character,
absolutely.
This character design too is just so wild compared to like segments.
Yeah, no, I liked, when Donnie pitched that to me, right from the beginning of, having Noel be the main villain of this. I thought it was great because you don't want to, we're sitting here talking about all the stuff from the 60s and 70s, but you don't want to get so wrapped up in nostalgia that you're blinded by it and that you're not creating anything new. You're just making these fantasies based on other people's fantasies. You do want to bring you want to give reason for people who are 12, 14 years old who don't care about some of this other stuff, who want the fresh stuff.
Sure.
So I like the idea. And also, there really hasn't been, Noel being a new character, I like the idea of being kind of like being able to be a part of the group of creators, kind of defining him as a character. Because at this point you haven't seen many drawings of him.
Sure.
He's not been used very much. So I was excited to be like, okay, I can make my mark on a character
in the formative
year, and then in theory, this character as they're used in years to come, someone may be able to look at this stuff and go, okay, that's the take that I want to be emulating, or this or that. And I love the design of the character. Another artist that I was looking at for just a deep personal inspiration of mine, but then specifically for Noel is the artist who does a bunch of work for Final Fantasy, Yoshitaka Amano.
Oh yeah.
So I got this giant book of Amano's work, and for Noel, I kind of wanted to make Noel look a bit like a Final Fantasy.
I do get that vibe.
Yeah,
I bring it up now. Like it's like, okay, I can see that. That's
for sure.
He's clearly box art of a Final Fantasy.
Sure.
Game. But yeah, I mean, clearly you made your mark on the character for Marvel to be like, second printing, we're putting that right on the front. That's how cool that is.
I really enjoy drawing Noel, and it was one of those things too where it's like, we when me and Donnie were first talking about the story, it was like it just felt right, and I feel like a lot of times with miniseries, sometimes why they don't click in the way that like a main series will is because people, they might think that it has no connection to the larger.
Right, because it's more detached in itself.
Exactly. So to be able to do a miniseries and actually tell something that has a theme and a heart to it, which is what I was coming to do with the character, but then also have the added benefit of Donnie, who's writing all of this stuff and can really connect it to the Marvel Universe proper in a substantial way. I think that was a cool way to kind of like hit two big chords.
And what I dig here is that you kind of get to do two different narrative flexes as well, because you get to, by doing a limited series, like there's a difference in the narrative because it's contained. You have a clearly defined beginning, middle, end, which I think, obviously you don't get that in an ongoing. An ongoing's telling a larger narrative. It's going for 24 issues, 100 issues, whatever. But what's cool here too is that I feel like it's a nice organic way of expanding Noel's sphere of influence.
Yeah.
Like you're like making his impact greater because now he's not just that guy who popped up in Venom.
Yeah.
Like it's cool that he's in Venom, like great. But now it's like, but now he's over here. Now he's playing in a different area. And I think that's cool because I think there's so many characters that are created, like Marvel, DC, everybody's constantly generating new ideas. But a lot of the time they're a bit of a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
They pop out, they're cool, but then somebody else doesn't play with it and they only pop up in that one book. So it's great if you're reading that property. But this is great because, there's a lot of overlap for Donnie between Venom and Guardians and stuff like that because they're fans of his. But now you kind of get to have two different audiences. You get your cosmic guys who go, oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, and it's nice too because a lot of times as comic readers, we get so inundated in everything going on. But you know, if you gave this book to someone who had no idea who all these characters were, I think that everything that we use in here, whether it's, you know, Null or falling into a black hole and saving people, it's all fun and interesting in and of itself. And the fact that we get to do like a big introduction of Null at the end, it works as though you don't need to be reading anything else. It's still able to be a good introduction comic, you know, which was important.
If that's your first impact, you immediately go, who is this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
Why is he? Because like, this is Silver Surfer. This is Power Cosmic. This is a dude who does a show that he can blast 20 people through like all these different atmospheric situations. And he gets owned. So you know this guy is like, okay, you don't mess with him.
For sure.
Which is great. I think it's a great way to bookend the issue.
I also just want to say, just as far as the Surfer, his look, it's like when I looked at the old Silver Surfer stuff, he looks very metal. He looks very stiff. Yours seems organic, like you know, like the way he flows and moves, and the way like it looks like from whatever perspective, it looks like it could be like 12 feet long, it could be 6 feet tall. You know, he has this cosmic bending like reality to himself and stuff like that. Same thing with Null. When you see him, it's like, oh, Null might look exactly like this in this part of the cosmos and stuff like that, which I like. It gives that different perspective. It's not just this stoic, you know, looks like this. You know, it has this trippy, fun, you know, just feeling vibe to it, which is just like it's a page turner. It's a real page turner, you know. So I just want to just throw in for a Surfer in general. It's just like to make him have this organic, crazy look to him is just refreshing and fun for what it is.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I wanted everything to feel kind of like you were underwater.
Oh yeah,
So
you get that vibe.
You know how kind of everything's waving and you can feel the pressure of the depth when you you know, go diving or anything like that. So I just that was a big inspiration for this whole book. I was looking at a lot of videos of deep sea diving and like coral reef stuff and this and that, you know, and that's, you know, Null's hair always looks like it, you know, in his case, you know, everything. I just wanted everything to be flowing and moving and feel like it was breathing, you know, like at all times. I never wanted anything to seem
that is static. That just said too. It's like every page is like an inhale and then an exhale and then an inhale and an exhale. So it's you know, when the intensity builds all these colors things and all the borders break on all the panels and stuff. So no, I mean, it's definitely congratulations on all that. Like you nailed that.
Thank you.
So
you mentioned the colors. Just to say, how much did you talk with Dave Stewart with like making this like insane? Well, because this is like a kaleidoscope. Like you look through and you're just like, I don't even know what's going on. There's 1,000 things. It's like this book is. It's simultaneously overstimulating but ridiculously clear. Like you're being overwhelmed, but that's like the feeling that you're trying to transmit.
Well, Dave, you know, he's a pro amongst pros. You know what I mean? He's you really don't have to give him too much direct. But I mean,
do you talk at all?
We had worked together before on just a few covers. You know what I mean? So we had already had a chance to kind of feel each other out in terms of what looks, and I colored the covers.
So
I was able
so that influences.
I was able to show like, you know, this is kind of what I'm thinking for, and it's like I know his work really well, and I knew exactly what I wanted the book to look like. So basically, kind of like right off the bat, I just, you know, reached out and we spoke, and I talked.
So you reached out to him. You were like you targeted him. You were like, I want you.
Oh yeah, no. I was like, I want Dave Stewart color in this book. You know what I mean?
Good choice.
Yeah, exactly. Because I
did a great job.
I was looking at a bunch of Hellboy and stuff, and I was like this is, you know, like in Hellboy, you know, you can follow him through everything because he has the red thing on each page, and I wanted something similar with Surfer, whereas like I didn't want him to be realistically rendered like metal. You know, if you look at the old books, he's white and blue, and that's largely because they couldn't print gray at the time, or they couldn't print it consistently. But regardless, like to me, when I think of Surfer, I think white and blue because that's the 60s and 70s way of doing it. So I kind of wanted to do like a Hellboy type thing, whereas like Surfer, is always white and blue. You know what I mean? So if you
Except for his hand.
Sure, yeah,
Right.
yeah, and that makes that really stand out. So you're following these pages and they're all these wild colors, going here and there, but you can always follow him because he is the light. He is the beacon of light through this story, through this dark space.
I also just like that sentence you just said also applies really well thematically.
Yeah. Oh, that's the great thing about miniseries. Is
Yeah.
you can come into it and you say, "This is the title. This is the idea. I'm going to build everything
Around it. It's like a
around this
concept.
Yes.
Well, and I guess that's probably why it feels more like an indie book because it's concept based and you know where you're going with it. You can kind of drive towards that goal.
Absolutely. So yeah, and that was.
Or I guess surf towards that goal.
Oh yeah, there you go. So yeah, that was working with Dave's been amazing. He's one of the best.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, I mean, we have to cut it a little short. We're
No, it's fine.
Silver Surfer Black. Definitely, you should be reading this. I'm going to point this at every camera. So
You are insane if you're not. You're missing out.
I mean, clearly we've endorsed it beyond belief just now. Like it is fantastic. I mean, look at this. How do you not want to read that? That's crazy. That's part of the Donnie-verse. Trav here is doing a great job. Dave Stewart. It's a magnificent book. It is definitely fantastic. Definitely pick it up. Trav, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you. All right, and you guys be sure to find the book. We're gonna have signed copies available because he's not just a magnificent artist. He's also gonna sign them, make them all fancy for you guys, and you can find them in store and online, available at the link in the description. Make sure you guys get your hands on it because otherwise you're even crazier than he is for drawing all this.
Not possible.
So you guys need to make sure you do it. So thanks for tuning in.
It's these books. He's signing these books.
It's all of them.
All of them.
Thank you. Pick it up.